Hi everyone, it's Suzanne. I wasn't quite ready. I want to talk to you today about the law of attraction. I know it's nothing new, it's an ancient law, but hey, you haven't heard my version of it, how it worked in my life and how you can apply it to your life. And did you notice the first couple frames of the video had to do with money and frequencies? Come back, let's talk about it. We got to get you on the same frequency as that money. See you after the intro. I have a little story about the law of attraction and how I've used it in my own life. I was introduced to it probably in 2008 or so, probably around the same time that the Secret Law of Attraction movie was so popular. Definitely had an aha moment when I watched it, and boy was I into it. I thought for sure this was going to change my life. Well, guess what? It didn't work. Here comes 2011. My brother contacts me and he says, hey, I don't know if you've ever heard of Esther Hicks and the teachings of Abraham, but get on YouTube and check them out because they literally saved my life. Well, of course I went onto YouTube. I'm gonna take whatever advice to having a better life I can get from whoever's offering it, especially if it resonates as the truth. I go and watch Esther Hicks. Boom. It goes right over my head. I just didn't get it. Well, you know, it's called being in the right place at the right time. I just wasn't ready for it. Here comes 2019. You know, before the pandemic, I was living in my townhouse. My townhouse is already paid for, so I was living free and clear. I was looking towards retirement within a couple of years. And being that it was a 2-story home, I decided that going forward, it may not be the best choice for me anymore. Although, don't get me wrong, I loved living there. It was safe, it was quiet, it was private. The house had a really great vibe, and the neighborhood was fine. Although something on the back burner was kind of urging me to watch these YouTube videos of new communities in my area, especially one that just really jumped out at me, which was a 55+ retirement community. These are all builders' new homes, and the price was a little bit out of my reach. Well, one Saturday I had a realtor come over to get a market analysis on my townhouse. And of course, you know, he wanted a quick sale, so at the time, he was probably looking at $20,000 less than I thought it was worth. Anyhow, long story short, I didn't list my house with him, but I did convince him to take me out to this new home community, the 55+ community that I was watching on YouTube. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I walked into the model house and I started feeling giddy. I loved it. I was so excited about this model. I was so excited about the community. I remember walking out the door and having this really clear thought that I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will end up living here somehow. Okay, I had to put that on the back burner because at the time, I was still working, I wasn't retired yet, my house wasn't on the market. I didn't have the means to just pick up, buy a brand new house and move. Fast forward, here comes the pandemic. It's 2020. A lot of stuff happened to me that year. Some of it not so great. I did suffer some loss. In February of 2020, my one sibling, my brother, passed away unexpectedly. So I had to deal with that. Then here comes the pandemic in March. I get laid off from my job. I live in Las Vegas. The Strip is closed down for the first time ever. The lights are out on the Strip. I'm in lockdown by myself. And, you know, every day I'm watching the news, seeing body bags piling up, and doing my best not to buy into the fear. Okay, one day before I was going to go to bed, I decided, you know, I'm going to revisit Esther Hicks and the teachings of Abraham. So, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I turned on the video and everything just clicked. It was like, oh my God, I so get this. It makes so much sense. Why didn't I figure this out before? Well, let me tell you, the rest of the lockdown was a very productive time for me because I used it to create and manifest the future of my dreams. Every night before I'd go to bed, I'd watch Esther Hicks. I actually would fall asleep with the video on. I don't know if subliminally or subconsciously that really made it stick for me, but I don't know. I just felt like I could feel a shift happening in my life at that time. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you the same thing. During the pandemic, during the lockdown, there was some kind of shift on the planet. I'm not talking about a physical shift. If you know what I'm talking about, people changed their consciousness. I did the same thing. I decided I was just satisfied with the life I was living. It was good, don't get me wrong. I was at peace with my job. I had a great home. I was living free and clear after all. I was close to retirement. I was a little torn about retirement because if I wasn't working, what was I going to do? You know, I'm not the kind of person that has a plan. So I just sat back and let the chips fall where they were going to fall. Next thing I know, I get called back to work, and I decided at that point, this was like August of 2020, I decided at that point, I'm going to retire. I'm not going back to work. I felt like they opened the Strip too soon, and it wasn't really a safe place to be, at least for me. A lot of people did go back to work. A lot of them got COVID. I don't know what the end result was, but I'm just glad that I got out of that situation when I did. You know, it was really no accident because at the same time, I got together with my husband. We had known each other 20 years ago. We were in a on and off relationship for about 5 or 6 years. It did not end well. We went our separate ways. I didn't give him a second thought for, 13 years. One day he reaches out to me on Facebook. The next thing I know, okay, I'm going to talk to him and see where his head's at. We had a FaceTime conversation that lasted 4 hours. Next thing I know, we probably went through what you call a courting period. By July, we had decided to get married. By July, we one day got in the car, drove out to the new home community that I told you about earlier. I showed him the model I was interested in. We went back to the office. The agent in the office said, oh, if you like that model, I have one that is standing inventory. It's got all these upgrades already in. It's all factored in. You're going to get $16,000 worth of upgrades and $10,000 in builder's incentives on your closing costs. Well, what does that add up to? $26,000. We walked into this house, standing inventory. All the upgrades were exactly my taste, exactly what I would have put into the house. We went back to the office, signed the paperwork, and the rest is history. We had no idea when we woke up that morning that we were going to buy a new house. This is how things happen when you're in that high vibration, when you've already done the energy work and created the future you want. You will see things fall into place very fast. So trust that. You know, if you're trying to move into a situation and you keep running into obstacles, that's because it's not the right path for you to be on. Follow your intuition. It's gotta be easy, and it's gotta be fun, and it's gotta, by all means, it's gotta make you happy. So, if I was gonna break down the law of attraction into segments, and this is my version because this is what worked for me, the first thing I would have to say is, I am worthy. You are worthy. No matter what your programming was when you were brought up, at the core, we're all equal. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they got nothing on you. We're all spiritual beings wearing a human body. We're all divine in essence. We all have the same opportunity to create and manifest the life of our dreams. And I'm going to tell you how to do the energy work first so the physical and mental barriers don't get in your way. Number 2, intend it. Okay, before you can manifest anything into your life, you have to figure out what you want. And you have to be clearer about what you want. You want to go from point A to point B to point C. I don't care if you have to write it down. Fine, if that helps you, write it down. Where you're at today, where you want to be tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. There's really no time limit to put on it, but I'll tell you something. When the law kicks in, it's going to happen fast, so fasten your seatbelt. This is where the energy work starts, and it's simple and natural. So simple that most children already know how to do it. Without even realizing it, they're doing it. It's called daydreaming. And if you catch your kids daydreaming instead of doing their homework, I say leave them alone. They're actually doing their homework on a higher level. This is how they create their lives, okay? They know what they want and they actually know how to get it because they're still innocent enough not to cloud up the process with self-doubt. They know what to ask Santa for, and they know they're gonna get it. They've already felt the excitement of having it in their daydream, so it's already being manifested into their reality. You're doing the same thing on an adult level. If you're gonna sit and daydream, pay attention to that, it's okay. You know, you're actually in a state of meditation when you're daydreaming, and you are actually creating a probable future. Again, it's so simple, an 8-year-old knows how to do it. Now the next step, number 3, feel the emotion of having it. You see, the law of attraction is not a mental process, and I think that's where most people fall short and give up. Making a vision board, doing a visual process like that, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, a vision board is a very good idea. It's actually a great idea. But looking at a picture of something day after day, saying affirmations, I already have it, I'm so grateful I already have it, is not what's really summoning something into your life. It's not repetition. It's not writing it down 500 times. I mean, I think I've actually watched a video in the past where some guy was saying, if you want to bring this into your reality, write it down 500 times. I'm so happy I already have this. Well, silly me, I did it. It didn't work, okay? Feeling is everything. Feel the excitement, and that is the actual energy work of what I'm speaking of. That'll complete the process of ordering what you want from the big Amazon of the universe. Okay, once you're clear on everything and you've pretty much followed these steps, the next step is to surrender attachment to the object. Once you've decided what you want, follow the steps I've mentioned, and then let it go. Don't obsess about it. You've got to detach yourself from it and allow the universe, source, God, higher power, whatever name you want to give it, find a way to deliver the object of your desire. If you try to dictate how this should be done because you think you have a plan, you're just throwing obstacles in the way. Your plan is actually the stumbling block. The best way to bring your desire into your life is to love what you already have. Go on about your business. Go on about your everyday life. Show gratitude in your head for what you already have. Okay? Do you want a new house? Love where you're living now. I know it sounds contrary, but you can't leave your current situation until you've made peace with it and love it. It's a roof over your head, right? Consider this. If you hate where you're living now, you certainly can move to a new place, but you may end up hating it as much or even more than the current place you're living. Make peace with it, then make your move. Got it? Think of how you feel when you're moving from your old house to your new one. When you close that door for the last time, you may feel a twinge of sadness about it, but that's a good sign. It means you felt enough gratitude living there that you're actually ready to move forward into your new, better home. I use a home as an example, even though I know many of you right now feel like a new home is out of your reach. What you can do right now is feel the emotion of already having it. And your home will find its way to you. You don't have to chase it. Intend it. Remember, market trends are always changing. Your situation and income can change for the better. What looks bleak today can improve tomorrow. And while you're doing the energy work of feeling excitement over your new house, the stars will align to make it happen. Number 5. Follow inspired thought. Simply said, if it feels good, do it. If you wake up in the morning with a sense of urgency to do something, don't question it, just do it. It'll put you in the right place at the right time to receive the object of your desire. Follow through. It's no accident, it's no coincidence that you are in the right place at the right time. It's not luck. You did the energy work. It had to happen. It's the law. Number 6, appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. This is the same thing as showing gratitude, or should I say, feeling gratitude. Remember, the emotion has more power than the thought. Feel it. Feel it for all the good things you currently have in your life. You'll attract more good things. And lucky number 7, be happy. If you watch the movie The Secret, Law of Attraction, you'll remember Rhonda Byrne, the author, wrote, "Be happy" in the sand at the end. That alone should be the most powerful principle of the Law of Attraction. The emotion of happiness raises your vibration. You know the feeling, it's like being in love. And you certainly know the opposite feeling of a low vibration. Did you know money has a high vibration? You want to have more money? Raise your vibration to the same vibratory rate and you'll attract it. But your goal is for money to love you, not for you to love money. Don't let anyone steal your happiness or your money. I'm going to tell you something. You know the saying, misery loves company? That's a low vibration. And a lot of people will welcome you and accept you into that club and share their misery with you. Be particular about who your friends are. Want to raise your vibration and live in the wealth consciousness? Be happy. It's so simple, an 8-year-old can do it. Okay, so maybe you're saying there's nothing new here. Well, that's true. This is the ancient law of attraction. It's old news, but the correct way to apply the principles, that's what's new. If you'd like to go deeper into the principles, I urge you to check out The Teachings of Abraham by Esther Hicks. Esther has numerous videos on YouTube. Also remember, the timing has to be right. So if you don't immediately grasp the principles, come back and watch at another time. My brother introduced me to Esther Hicks in 2011. At the time, I just didn't get it. I came back to the videos in 2020, and I changed my life. In the meantime, thanks for watching. If you found some wisdom in this video, I'm grateful if I could be the source. See you next time. Bye.